In the dead of night, as most of the world slept, a headline exploded across screens and airwaves. A story so shocking, it felt as if it had leapt straight from the pages of a political thriller. The world awoke to chaos, confusion, and disbelief as news outlets scrambled to verify what seemed almost impossible. Reports began to circulate that Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro had been captured by U.S. forces in a covert operation. The details were murky, but the implications were enormous. Was this the end of an era in Venezuela, or the beginning of something far more dangerous? As the story spread, explosions echoed on the outskirts of Caracas, lighting up the night sky and sending shockwaves through the city. Military aircraft were reportedly seen flying low over the capital, their presence fueling a storm of speculation online. Social media erupted with unverified videos, frantic messages, and wild theories, as citizens tried to make sense of the chaos unfolding around them. The claim, first made by a former U.S. president in a late-night statement, sent shockwaves from the halls of the United Nations to the crowded streets of Latin America. Diplomats, journalists, and ordinary people alike were left reeling, unsure whether to believe the incredible news or dismiss it as yet another twist in the region's turbulent politics. Is this the dramatic climax of years of escalating tension between Washington and Caracas? Or could it be a dangerous piece of misinformation designed to destabilize an already fragile situation? Protests erupted outside embassies, and urgent meetings were called as officials on both sides struggled to respond. Newsrooms around the globe buzzed with activity as journalists raced to separate fact from fiction. Anchors delivered breathless updates, while the presidential office in Venezuela stood eerily empty, its fate uncertain. The world was left with more questions than answers. What triggered this unprecedented event? Where is Maduro now? Who stands to gain or lose the most? The Venezuelan government quickly denounced the reports, calling them acts of foreign aggression and psychological warfare. Officials insisted that Maduro remained in control, accusing outside forces of trying to sow panic and confusion among the population. Military personnel flooded the streets, their presence a stark reminder of the nation's volatility. Meanwhile, the U.S. administration maintained a stony silence. The White House lights burned late into the night, but no official statement was released. The press room in Washington, D.C. remained empty, and the American flag flew at half-mast, deepening the sense of mystery and uncertainty. In these critical early hours, reliable information was scarce and rumors ran rampant. Journalists scoured every source, citizens scrolled endlessly through their phones, and the streets of Caracas, usually bustling, were eerily quiet as dawn approached. The world held its breath, waiting for clarity. Our task now is clear: to cut through the chaos, sift through the noise, and uncover what truly happened under the cover of darkness. As the world watches and waits, the truth remains elusive, but the search for answers has only just begun. The spark that ignited a global firestorm came from an unexpected source: former President Donald Trump. Known for his unpredictable style and headline-grabbing statements, Trump once again managed to capture the world's attention with a single late-night revelation. In a dramatic social media post published just after midnight, Trump claimed that U.S. Special Forces had successfully captured Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife in a swift, covert raid. The post, filled with Trump's signature bravado, described the operation as a flawless execution of American power, catching both supporters and critics off guard. The internet exploded with speculation as millions tried to verify the shocking news. Trump didn't stop there. He framed the entire operation as the culmination of intelligence gathering and strategic planning that began during his own administration. According to Trump, this was a mission years in the making, a mission that only he could have set in motion. He painted the picture of a seamless transition from planning to action, suggesting that his leadership was the key factor in the operation's success. By breaking the news himself, Trump seized control of the narrative before any official government statement could be made. The announcement sent shockwaves through the media, forcing both the current U.S. administration and the Venezuelan government to scramble for a response. Newsrooms across the globe went into overdrive, trying to confirm the details and understand the implications. The question on everyone's mind: was this a genuine leak of classified information, or a calculated political move designed to put pressure on his rivals? Analysts debated whether Trump had inside knowledge, or if this was a bold attempt to dominate headlines and shape public perception. World leaders and allies demanded urgent clarification, unsure how to react to such a dramatic and unprecedented claim. Diplomatic channels buzzed with activity as officials sought answers, worried about the potential fallout and the risk of escalating tensions in an already volatile region. For years, the United States had sought to oust Maduro through sanctions, diplomatic isolation, and covert support for opposition groups. But few imagined that a direct military capture would ever be attempted, let alone announced in such a public and sensational manner. Trump's explosive post instantly transformed years of slow-burning diplomatic pressure into a story of direct intervention. The narrative shifted overnight, with the world now focused on the possibility of a new era in US-Venezuela relations, one defined by bold action rather than cautious negotiation. Now, all eyes turned to the White House. Would the current administration confirm or deny Trump's claims? The press corps gathered outside, demanding answers, while officials inside weighed the risks of responding too quickly, or not at all. The stakes could not be higher. With the world watching, the next move could reshape international relations, spark new conflicts, or reveal a stunning new chapter in global politics. Before Trump's post, chaos erupted in Caracas. Residents reported low-flying aircraft and explosions near military installations. Shaky cell phone videos showed flashes in the night sky, fueling speculation of a coordinated operation. The Maduro government's silence only deepened the confusion as rumors of a foreign raid spread. This atmosphere of fear and uncertainty set the stage for Trump's explosive claim. Why would the United States take the extraordinary step of indicting a sitting foreign president? What could possibly drive a global superpower to risk such a bold and controversial move, knowing it would send shockwaves through international diplomacy and potentially escalate tensions across the Western Hemisphere? The answer is rooted in a long and complex history of escalating conflict between the US and Venezuela. In March 2020, the US Department of Justice made headlines around the world by indicting Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and several of his top officials. The charges were severe: narco-terrorism, corruption, and conspiracy to smuggle vast quantities of cocaine into the United States. U.S. authorities accused Maduro's inner circle of working hand-in-hand with Colombian guerrilla groups to flood American streets with cocaine, fueling addiction and violence. The indictment painted a picture of a regime deeply entangled in the global drug trade, using state resources to protect and profit from criminal networks. To underscore the seriousness of these charges, the State Department offered a staggering $15 million reward for information leading to Maduro's arrest and conviction. This was one of the highest bounties ever placed on a foreign leader, signaling just how far the U.S. was willing to go. But the indictment was only one part of a broader campaign. The U.S. has repeatedly cited widespread human rights abuses, political repression, and a deepening humanitarian crisis as reasons for its hardline stance. Images of Venezuelan citizens protesting in the streets, desperate for food and medicine, have become symbols of a nation in turmoil. Over the years, Washington has imposed sweeping economic sanctions, cut off Venezuela from the global financial system, and thrown its support behind opposition leader Juan Guaidó, recognizing him as the country's legitimate president. These moves were designed to isolate Maduro's regime and force a transition of power. Officially, the U.S. government no longer recognizes Maduro as Venezuela's lawful leader. Instead, it labels him a criminal, holding him personally responsible for the suffering of millions and the breakdown of democratic institutions. This legal and moral framework has justified years of what Washington calls a maximum pressure campaign, an all-out effort to squeeze Maduro's regime through legal, economic, and diplomatic means. The idea of a direct capture or extradition of Maduro would be a dramatic escalation, one that could trigger unpredictable consequences. Yet the groundwork for such a move was laid long ago, through years of mounting accusations and international isolation. In the eyes of Washington, Maduro has forfeited his right to sovereign protection by engaging in criminal acts that threaten the security and well-being of the United States and its allies. This is the context for today's crisis. A high-stakes confrontation shaped by years of conflict, legal battles, and the enduring struggle for power in Venezuela. The world watches as the stakes continue to rise. At dawn, Venezuela struck back with words. Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, flanked by military leaders, called the capture story a fabrication, psychological warfare by Washington. State TV aired old footage of Maduro, insisting he was safe and in control. Officials accused Trump of spreading chaos to undermine the U.S. administration. Venezuela's allies, Cuba, Russia, Iran, condemned the disinformation campaign, framing it as another act of U.S. aggression. The world split, a former U.S. president's explosive claim versus a sovereign nation and its allies crying foul. The information war had begun. In the aftermath, the truth remains elusive. Trump's claim is public record, and reports of explosions in Caracas are corroborated by local sources. But the alleged capture of Maduro is unconfirmed. No photos, no official statements, no independent verification. The U.S. administration's silence is striking, fueling speculation. Are they caught off guard, or is this strategic ambiguity? Both Trump and the Maduro regime have credibility issues. The truth will emerge slowly, through evidence, not dramatic announcements. Until then, uncertainty reigns. Even the rumor of Maduro's capture has sent shockwaves through Latin America. The region's history with U.S. intervention stirs old fears and diplomatic headaches. Allies of the U.S. are caught between partnership and public outrage. Most urge calm and respect for international law. Venezuela's allies use the incident to rally support and denounce Yankee imperialism. On the ground, the risk of further instability threatens to worsen the refugee crisis, straining neighbors like Colombia and Brazil. This is more than political drama. It's a potential regional crisis in the making. The world is watching, and the stakes are real. The echoes of history are unmistakable. In 1989, the U.S. invaded Panama and captured General Manuel Noriega, also indicted for drug trafficking. That operation set a precedent. Indicted foreign leaders could be seized by U.S. force. But Venezuela is larger, with a loyal military and powerful allies like Russia and China. A U.S. operation here would be far riskier, with global consequences. The Noriega case is both a playbook and a warning. For some, it's decisive action. For others, a violation of sovereignty. The past looms over today's crisis. We stand at a crossroads, an extraordinary claim, official silence, and a world on edge. The key question: where is Nicolás Maduro? Until he appears live, speculation will only grow. The U.S. administration faces mounting pressure to clarify the truth. Every hour without answers deepens the mystery and raises the stakes. In this age of propaganda and rumor, critical thinking and credible reporting are more vital than ever. The coming days will reveal whether this is a historic operation, a massive disinformation campaign, or something in between. The impact will be felt for years. The world waits, and so do we.